Hey, this is part 2 because part 1, I accidentally knocked my cable out of my thing and couldn't figure out why it wasn't working. So here we are again. What I was showing you at the time was I blew this dry and I was showing you these that they can get dirty when you're blending, okay? Like I'm trying to put some yellow on here and I'll probably end up putting yellow colored pencil and I'm going to put a little yellow on here. And what I was showing was, before I realized I wasn't recording anymore, as I went on for 20 minutes, as that's my life. See the difference in the color? Like once you clean it off, how much, you know. So make sure you're always, as you're using these, you clean them off, is my point. I can't believe that I just recorded. But now we have 2 parts, so if one was too long, then you can watch the other one. I'm going to take my red. God, I keep unscrewing them. And I'm just going to add a little bit more red in here. And do a little bit more red. Is this my red? This isn't my red. This is my orange. I'm all fucked up now. So, all screwed up now because I had to call my husband in. Not that he cares, but it's just like there's certain things. I was trying to do an order online this morning, and I had to have him come in here, and he's telling me step by step. And the worst thing is, I'm horrible at stuff. I can't remember things. I don't know how to do things. And the more, and it might, maybe it's a wife thing. I don't know. It could be. But like, the more he's telling me of what to do, even though I need him to tell me what to do, I'm getting madder. If that makes sense. I just want to say, leave me alone. But I need him because I can't figure out what I needed to do. Okay. I know. Problems in the world. All right, so you just make sure you get your tips filled, you know, your corners and everything filled, and here's where we are. Now, this is kind of like a, you know, tie-dye thing. If you want it to spread more, you know, or whatever, just give it a little bit of a spray. Leave your heart alone for now, because your heart will go on. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is, and I guess I'm kind of glad that the things happen for a reason, because then I don't have to have people messaging me nasty emails saying that they are bored of my videos and me talking and I take too long. So now you can watch a video part 1 and video part 2. Here we are. So we're going to use our colored pencils. Now what I want to do is I want to squirt all the page. Now I don't care that my heart's running into the background. I don't care. But I want my page to be wet for my... And I just think that adds... the way it runs, because we're going to outline it in black. So I think the way it runs adds beauty. I don't want to lift it up because it'll kind of run more. But it just kind of like spreads this beautiful, beautiful thing. And as you can see here, we have our thing. So let's take some of our watercolor pencils. I'm just going to take all mine out so I can see colors. And let's start with backgrounds. Let's kind of do... we're going to mix. We're going to mix our Bienfang, and we're going to mix our Neocolors and our watercolor pencils. And if you have your Crayola watercolor paints or markers or whatever, you can get the same effects with all. So let's begin, shall we? I will start with some purple. And I'm just going to go down here. And you use whatever you have. Now, I like to dip my pencils, my watercolor pencils, in water. You don't have to. It just, with the paper being wet and then like the pencil, you just get, you know, a nice... Some people just like to color with their watercolor pencils and then take their brush and then, you know, use that to spread the paint. And I think whatever way you like to do it is perfect. Perfect. And we're just going to keep doing. And I'm going to add some paint on top of that too. And I'm pushing everything away because I'm just a pusher-awayer. And we just want to blend colors. Where's my control thing? That's odd. I lost my control thing, so hopefully it's recording. I have no idea. Do I have? I thought I had purple. No. Let's grab a purple Neo crayon. And we'll go over it too. And it just adds depth. You don't have to color all of it because you want that colored pencil to be in there too. If you find that your paper's too wet, that the colors are bleeding too much, that you're not digging on it. Now, you don't have to stick with your purple in one place. God, if I don't clean in here soon. You know, stick it in other places too. The purple, because we're mixing. We're just going to mix. And then let's take our blue. It's like a greenish blue. And we'll just add some down here. Because we just want the background to be beautiful. You know, just like all these just beautiful colors. I love these because I like, it's like, how do you say? You know, it's like equal rights, equal, you know, like I'm supporting the colors I'm doing in the rainbow and even, you know, whatever. I want to support equal rights and everybody to be able to love who they want and that kind of thing. So that's kind of what I have in mind with this. You don't have to. You can just do whatever way you want. Watercolor is so much fun to play in, play with. It's just like a mishmash of colors. No rhyme or reason. And remember, because those things are watercolor, the Bienfangs, they will, you know, blend too. So I just love, you know, if you want bright colors, don't blend as much as me. Take a paper towel or your rag or whatever you have, and then you can start blotting if you want it to be lighter. Now, the reason I'm using watercolor paper is because I'm using a lot of water. You don't have to, and you just, you know, dry it with your, I don't want to keep drying with my gun because, my heat gun, because then it just wastes your time watching me dry. Like I said, you just kind of do that. And then we can pick, let's see, yellow. I'll use the other things. We have some pink. I'm going to do some pink over here. I can see some holes where there's needs some color. And I'm going to pick my pink from my Neo colors and go in around. Now you can do dark around your heart if you want. I'm just going to try to kind of give you some sort of finished thing, so then you guys can do and play your own self. Play with your own self. Play, good God. Play, you know, do your own thing. And I just take my wet brush. I want it to look messy. I want it to look, you know, if you want it to be more refined and more, you know, solid and beautiful, go for it. It's all in how you want to do it. I do it much faster on here because, and don't take as much time because of, you know, the time for you guys to watch videos and all that. Nobody has all the time in the world to sit and watch me do things. And then I'm going to show you my last trick. And then we're going to do what I want to do. Now I love the way that these are spreading out. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a little spread, a little spray right where the ends of the wings are. And I'm going to go back in with my colors. And my yellow, for instance. And I'm going to have yellow run out of here. Down this way. Up this way. And then when we, and I'm going to do all the colors like that very quickly so you'll hear me. You know, just very loosely. Because I love the way the water makes it blend out. I'm going to have to buy one of these soon because they're running out. And then we have our blue and our green. Blue, I just love the way that looks. Look at that. It like spreads. Like, it's not doing it there because my paper's not wet. Spray my, look at that. Oh, it's love. Oh, I freaking love it. Okay. Wonder if the green will do that. Need to spray and see. Yeah, it is. Paper has to be more wet than... Oh, I just love how this is just... I think I might even go over it with all the watercolor paints just to add... like just splashes and then just cover, you know. Just love it. Gosh. Because like I said, the black's really going to make everything pop, so... It would help if I sprayed what I instead of my desk, but okay. And then I got to go over that black. I think yellow might be too light to do that with. Let's see. Yeah, it might be too light. Let's see if we can do it down here. These have like all these beautiful colors, and like I said, we're gonna trim it out, trace it out. So you have all the under layers. And like I said, you don't have to do this. You could do this with your watercolor pencils. Same thing. You just want your paper wet. That's all. And I'll quit playing around. I'm just going to touch up my heart where I kind of wipe some off. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is... Now something really cool that you can do. You could take the back of your paintbrush, for instance, and you can go in and make marks if you want. Like, stay away from your heart, but it'll kind of like drag through and make like different, like kind of design kind of things. Does that make sense? Like give you textures. And that's pretty cool too. It just makes them the wet paint. And like I said, it doesn't matter if you're using watercolor or not. whatever kind of paint. If you're using your acrylic paint, you know, you want it to wet it down a little bit when you're doing the background, or wet your background. But this is pretty cool because it gives you just these new elements in here. To me, it's like a shooting kind of gig. And I really like that. It's like tie-dyed almost. Oh, I'm really digging this. All right, I gotta stop. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Let me blow it dry so then I can... And your colors will move a little bit, it's okay, but I'm gonna just blow this dry real quick so we can do our black marker. And some touch-ups, and then we're done. And like I said, this is a really cool thing. And you can do it on any kind of paper. And as you blow it dry, you'll see some of the colors move, and that's okay. Once it's dry, you can also go back, which I'm going to go back on the tips of my wings here and add a little bit more of a color. But you can always go back and look at it and say, oh, I need a little bit more color here, or take away. You can use a wet brush that's just with clear water. Take it away. And it's nice to use watercolor paper if you can, because it does dry fast. But any paper, like I said, you have will work. Hair dryer, if you have a hair dryer. If you don't, go to the thrift store, buy a cheap one to use for your arts. Because you really, unless you're going to be doing a lot of embossing, you don't need a heat gun. But if you want a heat gun, use a coupon. Hobby Lobby, Joann's, everything online, you can get a heat gun 40% off. Sometimes Joann's has 50. Alright, I think we're getting there. Okay. So, this is it so far. I know it kind of looks bizarre, but once you trace it out, it will be good. Now, I'm going to put, I think, let's see, I did maroon. I'm going to do a little bit of maroon at the edges here. I'm not going to worry too much about it being too dark, too light, whatever. They just need a little bit of color. You can then go in with your paintbrush, make sure it's basically dry, and kind of blend that in with the other color and take away some of that, just so it kind of gets that same look, so it's not so stark and it's like blended in. And then if you have more on your paintbrush, you can just kind of go and add, if you see that it needs added, you know, color added somewhere that you missed, or you want to add a little bit more color or whatever. It's all good. Okay, and let me just real quick dry this for one more second. Again, you can use your watercolor pencils, crayons, your Reeves, water-soluble crayons, Crayola paints, markers, whatever you have. Okay. Now I'm going to take my markers, and I think I'm going to do a black because I want it to stick out. You don't have to, though. You can do red. You can do any color that you want. Or if you don't have a marker, use a nice pen, or, you know, whatever you want. I think what I'm going to do, though, is I think I'm going to do my heart, and I'm going to trace it in red first to see if that... I might want it... I might change it and go over it with black. I want to see how it makes it stick out, because I really want it to stick out of our background, because I love the background, but I don't think that's going to be bright enough, so I'm going to go over it with black. I love Faber-Castell markers. I love, these are Pigma archival ink brushes from Sakura. I bought a bunch of these. Microns and all those kind of things. Love them. So now I'm going to follow and do my... And you don't have to follow your exact drawing, because underneath all this paint, you're not going to be able to see it. Yeah, love it. Loving it, loving it. And this would be fun to do in your journal. It would be fun, you know, just to take a piece of paper and just sit and play. Like I said, it'd be fun to sit in bed and just take your crayons or your colored pencils or whatever you use. And look how cool. And then you can do some like cute little, you know, doodles if you want, like a little, whatever kind of doodle. I always do these little circles. I don't even think they're called doodles. Just make them smaller as you go down. Just something cute. You can write a word in here. You know, you can go in here and add like, kind of like feather, you know what I mean? Like kind of like some designs, or leave it plain. It doesn't matter. You can write love on top, love in the middle, do whatever. And, I mean, look how it's like this really cool tie-dyed paper. Now, I'm not really digging on that. I don't know why I did that. I did it though. And since that's a permanent marker, of course, any other time. But what I'll do is, if you don't like something and you're using a permanent marker, watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to wipe it off with my water. I'm going to give it a little rub. And then I'm going to take me some, oh, a little wet there. Let's take some of our paint. Give it a squirt. Squirt, 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 squirt. And maybe some green. Do some green up here. Up here. Just to kind of make some designs, and then we'll squirt it. Just giving you ideas. Nobody has to squirt. Nobody has to do anything. Leave it the way it is. Tilt it. Tilt it. Hit it with your gun. Or your hair dryer. I'm not going to waste your time on that. I don't like how it turned a nice brown, so I'm just going to give it a little patty pat. And there we go. So that's one way to do the heart with wings. Like I said, you can do wings a million different ways. You can do like the harsher wings, you know, with the points at the end and everything else. But it's a cool tie-dye page. It's a cool, you know, thing here. You can do, I would get puffy, like, not puffy paint, but like red glitter. And I'd probably glitter my heart. And I might do a, like a clear white school glue over top of this and just sprinkle like very clear glitter on top, just a little, like little pinches around, so it gives a little bit of flair. If you like it glittery, keep it like this, whatever. And like I said, look how fun. And I mean, like all these little, I mean, it's really, really cool. And like I said, you can just go in and like these things that are still wet that have the puddles, pull from it. And you get all these really cool, you know, no, we really don't necessarily need that green to be all right there. So we could just pull it down. You know? Up here the same way. Pull it with your brush tip, the end of your brush. And it just gives these really cool looking designs to it. So I'm very excited for this one. I'm very happy. The next one we're going to do is, I have an experiment to do. And then the next one we're going to do is a, they're called, I don't call them this, but I love doing them because, I just love doing them. I have to find the painting that I did for somebody who is religious, but I'm not religious. But I love doing it because it includes fire. But the Sacred Heart. I love doing it, and I do it my own way for my own beliefs. I just think it's beautiful, and I'll have to find a painting of it and add it so you guys can see it. But as of this painting and this part 2, we are done. I hope you guys learned something. I hope you dig it. Something else that I can tell you is if you draw your heart in the middle and don't paint it in yet or whatever, or paint it in, whatever, and then kind of make it a mask over it, like take a piece of tape or paper and cut out the heart to mask it, and then just totally go crazy painting the background, and then just draw the wings over top of it. You can do that too. You know, I like the experimental part where I love starting out one way and it ends up being another. That's just me. But everybody has their own gig, so, you know, whatever you like. So I hope you guys do this and tag me. It's very fun, very simple to do, especially for newbies, especially in your art journals. Or like I said, just take a piece of printer paper and go to town. You know, make a cool background, do your thing, or do like I did or whatever. And, you know, I did easy wings, but again, you can do any kind of wing you want. You could put quotes on here. You can do whatever you want. Do it on a smaller scale and make it a tag for a gift. You know, like an ATC card, or even a small, you know, even bigger than an ATC card, smaller than this, as if it's like your Christmas card to somebody, or a gift tag that you put on their gift. And it's like so cool because I love tie-dye so much. So that's about all I got for that. So on to the next thing. So be kind to each other. You never know what battle somebody else is fighting. And I hope you all have a great day. And please leave me a thumbs up if you enjoy my videos, and leave me a comment. And if you found me by accident, or saw one of my videos on Facebook and came and watched me, please sub. It's on my main page. All you have to do is click Kelly Donovan above this video. It'll take you to my main page, and please sub. And as always, share my videos. I love it, and I love you guys, and I hope you have a great day. Bye, guys.